When somebody does something you wrong, do you want to just get them out of your life? Like, I never want to see you again. I don't want to talk to you. Just leave me alone. Don't ever come around me again. That's the way we feel sometimes as humans, isn't it? But did you know that's how God does? You think about this. You go back to the book of Genesis, creation. God creates this beautiful earth. He puts trees and plants and birds and animals and man. And he loves the man so much as, even though I've got all these animals, there's not that. We need something more for man, for Adam. So he creates Eve. Now Eve, she gets him in trouble. Yeah, she sins. I mean, she directly defied God, and so did Adam. God specifically said, don't eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So what did they do? They ate of that tree. Now, in our humanness, we would be pissed off, right? And we just say, get out of here, get out of my sight. You're done. You're done. So what does God do? Yes, he banishes them from the garden. But does he leave them alone? Does he desert them? He does not. You look at chapter 3. And they've sinned. And instead of leaving them naked and ashamed, God kills animals and makes clothes for them. He sends them out of the garden, but he's still with them. They're still talking to him. They can still talk to God directly. You ever think about that? You go into chapter 4 and, Adam and Eve have a couple of sons. They have Cain and Abel. You know the story of Cain and Abel. What does Cain do? He kills Abel. This would probably make God mad, don't you think? I mean, if somebody killed one of your kids, wouldn't you be angry? Okay, so Cain and Abel might be considered his grandkids because, Adam and Eve were his kids. So even if Cain and Abel are his grandkids, okay, somebody kills your grandkid, whoo, I don't know about you, but that'd make me mad. But what does God do? He has a little conversation with Cain, and he tells him, I'm going to send you away. You're not going to be able to be here with family anymore. You're going to be a wanderer. And Cain, who has killed his brother, is talking to God. We'll pick it up in chapter 4, verse 10. The Lord said, what have you done? Listen, your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. Now you are cursed and banished from the ground which has swallowed your brother's blood. No longer will the ground yield crops for you, no matter how hard you work. From now on, you will be a homeless wanderer on the earth. And Cain's like, wait a minute. My punishment is too great for me to bear. You've banished me from the land and from your presence. You've made me a homeless wanderer. Anyone who finds me is going to kill me. Cain's scared for his own life now. But he's talking to God. And the Lord says, nah, I won't let it. I will give a 7-fold punishment to anyone who kills you. And he marks Cain so that everybody would know, don't kill this man. Don't kill him. Now, that might not be the most merciful thing God ever did, because if you think about it, now Cain's got to live for the rest of his life knowing what he did. He's got to live with himself. That can't have been easy, but still, God let him live. And he lived a long time. So, later on, Cain has kids. The Bible even records who his kids were. But let's go down here later, down to the end of chapter 4, and Adam and Eve have relations again. They have another son named Seth. Now, it's been a couple hundred years on the earth already. And this is what I find interesting. Seth grew up and he had a son named Enosh, E-N-O-S-H. At that time, the people began to worship the Lord by name. So I don't know what they were calling God before that. I don't know how they were worshiping him before that. But now they're worshiping God, the Lord. The Hebrew word is Yehovah, or we pronounce it Jehovah in an English pronunciation. But all these years have passed, which is, nothing to God. It's been a few minutes. But when Enosh is born, then the people begin to worship the Lord, Yehovah, by name. I just found that interesting as I was reading through today. It's amazing what you can see when you read the Word, pay attention, and think about what you're reading. Read out loud. I've told you to do that before, but I will encourage you, again, read the Word out loud. Because as you read it out loud and you take your time and you read and you listen, God will speak to you and He'll show you things you haven't seen before, which is really pretty cool. Now, you may have noticed all the things that I just mentioned today. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't, I don't know. But it was kind of a new, interesting thing for me today, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I will talk to you soon.